everyone, so I'm just going to walk you through the instructions for your second assignment. They're really straightforward, so just bear with me while I go through these very quickly. Okay, so first of all, these are your assignment instructions. Remember, they're available on student materials at any time. So what I'm going to do is, this is a case-based essay. Okay, so just broadly in the beginning, so you need to read the above scenario, and we'll go over that in a moment. And in an academic essay of not more than 2,000 words, provide a comprehensive explanation of the changes from infancy to adolescence and how these changes influence an individual's health. Okay, so please make sure that you are focusing here between infancy and adolescence. Okay, do not speak about adulthood at all because that is outside of the scope of this essay. Okay, cool. Let's just go to the scenario real quickly so that it's here and everyone can read along. And then we'll go over the details of the questions. Okay, so here's your case. Mia's childhood was a time of steady growth and exploration. Health during this stage depends on a combination of genetic factors, environmental influences, and personal behaviors. For Mia, regularly physical activity, balanced nutrition, and vaccinations supported her wellness. However, occasional illness, like chickenpox, highlighted the vulnerability of childhood health. During these years, her brain continued to grow and reorganize. Brain lateralization became more pronounced, allowing for improved coordination, problem solving, and emotional regulation. These changes facilitated her ability to engage in group activities such as school projects and sports. Adolescence brought dramatic changes to Mia's brain and body. Increased activity in the limbic system, which governs emotions, made her more sensitive to rewards and risks. Simultaneously, her prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision making and impulse control, was still maturing. This imbalance sometimes led to impulsive behavior, such as staying up too late to binge watch TV shows, despite needing rest for school the next day. Mia also experienced changes in brain lateralization, with improved communication between hemispheres due to increased corpus callosum connectivity. These changes enhanced her multitasking abilities, but also highlighted her emotional reactions to social situations. Mia's puberty experience involved both physical and psychological changes. For her, the development of secondary sexual characteristics such as breast growth and onset of menstruation came with mixed emotions. She felt excitement about maturing, but also faced challenges such as mood swings and body image concerns. In contrast to her twin brother Max, experienced puberty differently. While his voice deepened and his muscle mass increased, he also faced social pressures related to appearing strong and mature. Both siblings grappled with the psychological correlates of puberty, including heightened self-awareness and sensitivity to peer opinions. Mia's experience illustrates the importance of fostering health and wellness at every stage of life. Okay, so that is your case scenario. So before I get into the nitty gritty points here, as you will see, especially when you get to the rubric, when you go through that in your own time, is that you need to refer to the case examples directly throughout your entire essay. Okay, so please do not make random examples up. Use examples that you've been provided from your case scenario. Okay, you do not need to reference the case scenario. You just reference, you refer to Mia, or in the case given with Mia, whatever, right? And then I'll know what you're talking about. Okay. So what you need to do to start off your essay, first of all, give an introduction. Remember, you must follow an academic essay structure for this assignment. So you'll have a proper introduction. Okay, and then you will have a brief description of lifespan development as a model of health. Okay, so what is lifespan development? And more specifically, how is this situated in the health sphere? Okay. Next, you will explain reflexes and behavioral states of newborn babies and infants. Okay, so already there are a few examples that you were given in the case study to draw from here. And you can lean on your textbook to provide you with the base of the information here, but please, you must use at least 3 other journal articles to answer this question. Okay, so at least you will have a total of at least 4 academic sources, including your textbook. Please use more than that if you need to for information. Okay. So getting back to the questions. Okay, so after doing that, you will then describe brain lateralization. So please define this term. What does it mean? Okay, and also what is its impact on behavior and functioning? So you need to be using your textbook and other academic sources to explain what this is. What is this as a process? How does it happen from infancy to adolescence? And what examples can you use from Mia's story above? Okay, next, discuss the importance of childhood health and wellness in general. Okay, so just that's a note on general childhood health and wellness. There were some pointers up in the case study as well. How important is it really for development across the lifespan during this period from infancy to adolescence to maintain children's health and wellness throughout this period? Okay, cool. Now, explain how brain changes during adolescence influence a teenager's behavior. Okay, so there's quite a big clue to this in the case study. It was talking about the limbic system and the prefrontal cortex and those kinds of things. Okay, hint, hint, that's what it's saying. How does the brain literally, physically grow and change during adolescence? Okay, and then what effect does that have on the adolescent or the teenager's behavior? Okay, and then lastly, compare the experience of puberty for males and females in the context of physical and psychological correlates of puberty. Okay, so it may help you to find an article that does this. I suggest doing that, probably make your lives a bit easier to answer this last point. Find some articles that talk about the sex differences, right, in puberty, especially to do with psychological issues during puberty. Okay, we obviously like the physical stuff is obvious, so you have to mention it, of course. But yeah, focus on the psychological changes and the psychological processes that happen during puberty for males and females and how they compare according to research. Okay, please don't just base this on your own experiences, base it on academic research and, of course, what they have given you vaguely in the case study above. Okay, so always, every time you use any academic source, you must explain it fully and then provide application. Okay, so with justification from your case study. So every time you make a point to answer one of these questions or these points above here, use an example from the case study and back that up correctly. Okay. As long as you do that, you explain every theoretical element and you back it up with an example of how Mia's situation illustrates this theoretical point, you will do well in this essay. Okay, so it is very straightforward. Go through the case study a few times, highlight all of the important parts, and start planning out your sections of your essay. Please do not forget to end off with a strong conclusion as well. Okay. So yeah, you have a maximum of 2,000 words. Do not go over the word limit, please. Stick to that as much as possible. And all of your usual formatting applies. Okay. Please follow APA 7th edition referencing throughout the whole essay. That's very important. And please pay attention to the structure, especially of your reference list. Okay, over the first assignment, I did notice quite a lot of incorrectly formatted reference lists, so please go over that again and make sure you are nailing that for the second assignment. Alrighty, those are all the instructions from me. I look forward to reading your essays.